Hey O'Brien's, this is Liam here, and what I'm doing this fall with our Fall Junior Academy is sending a video to all the parents of what we are working on with our kiddos, at least in reference to the golf swing. We're obviously trying to do a lot with putting and chipping, and we're getting on the golf course a little bit. But I use a lot of video when I teach the kids swing, and so making a little copy for their parents to show them what we're working on. So here we go. One of the things we work on is that if you notice over here, there's a little aimer 2x4 to the side of Connor. I really try to get the kids to always hit balls, paying attention at least to a 2x4. They almost always have them next to them because it's something I make them do. Whether they're paying attention to it or not is a different question. So I always try to get them to pay attention to that 2x4 because it goes a long way to making the kids better almost unconsciously. They do. If they just pay attention to it, they can get it set up with their feet, their knees, their hips, the shoulders all parallel to that board, and that really works good for good alignment. And you can see here Connor's got pretty good posture. He could probably be bent over a little bit more, but more or less he's got good posture. Backswing is pretty good. I'm going to do a couple things here. Backswing is pretty good. I'm going to draw a little circle around his head here. What me and Connor are working on is two things really in his swing. Is trying to get that head to be moving less. So notice it started up in that circle, and by the time he's swinging down, it's well out of it. So there's too much up and down in his swing. And then, he's got decent approach to the ball here, but shortly after the ball, he's working his hands awful hard. So you can notice his hands were visible. Okay, then all of a sudden the club is flipped around on the other side of his body, and the face of the club is dead shut. So instead of a smooth and kind of a passive release of the hands in conjunction with the body, his body stops turning and he just flips his hands at it really hard through the impact zone, which just makes him fairly inconsistent, makes him fall back quite a lot because he's almost stopping his body and just flipping his hands. So you don't notice, if you notice, his right foot doesn't come off the ground there, stays on the ground too much. From the front angle, again, great looking setup. Ball position might be slightly too far forward here. Again, I'm going to draw a circle around his head. The head's now moving back, and now it's going to move a little bit more down. So he squats a little too much, and again, as he approaches impact, dead flips his hands as he goes through. The right side doesn't come through. So that's what we are trying to get accomplished with Connor, is to keep the head more still, and as he's swinging through, moving or not flipping the hands as much, get the body and the hands working more together so we don't see his right arm cross over his left arm as much as we do right here. And ultimately, I think with Connor, we will get that accomplished, assuming when he comes to the clinics, we get in an hour and a half clinic, we probably get 25 minutes worth of work out of Connor, and the other time is kind of spent socializing with everyone else, and I'd like to get that up in the 45 minutes worth of work, if not an hour's worth of work, and the rest of the time spent socializing and chatting it up and bothering the other kids. But that's, if I can get that accomplished with Connor, then I think we'll make a lot of progress in the golf swing. So anyway, I want to let you know what we're doing with the swing, and if you can get on them a little bit and have them pay a little more attention to the golf swing and less messing around, I certainly appreciate it because I think we'll get more work done. Thank you, O'Brien's.